Have you ever wondered what it would be like to witness the world being washed clean and starting anew? Today, we're re-diving deep into one of the most epic and enduring stories ever told, the story of Noah's Ark. It's a tale of faith, destruction, survival, and a promise that still echoes in our world today. So grab a comfy seat, and let's travel back to a time before the rain began to fall. The story begins in a world that had grown dark and corrupt. The goodness that was intended for humanity had faded, replaced by wickedness and turmoil. But amidst all this, there was one man who stood apart. His name was Noah. The scriptures describe him as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, who walked faithfully with God. In this world teetering on the edge of chaos, God saw the corruption and was grieved. He decided to bring a great flood to cleanse the earth of its wickedness. But he also saw the goodness in Noah's heart. So, God spoke to Noah, giving him a monumental, almost unbelievable task. He said, "I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens, but I will establish my covenant with you." God instructed Noah to build an ark, a massive vessel unlike anything ever seen before. The instructions were incredibly specific. It was to be made of cypress wood, sealed with pitch inside and out to make it waterproof. Its dimensions were staggering: 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. To put that in modern terms, that's about 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high, longer than a football field and as tall as a 4-story building. It was to have lower, middle, and upper decks, a roof, and a single door in its side. Imagine Noah receiving these instructions. There was no sign of rain, no massive body of water nearby. His neighbors must have thought he was completely mad. Picture the scene. Day after day, year after year, Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, toiled away. The sound of hammers and saws would have filled the air, a constant, peculiar rhythm in a world oblivious to the coming storm. They faced ridicule, doubt, and likely a lot of name-calling. Yet, Noah's faith never wavered. He did everything just as God commanded him. His obedience in the face of public mockery is a powerful testament to his trust. As the ark neared completion, the next part of God's plan unfolded. Noah was commanded to bring animals into the ark. Not just any animals, but 2 of every kind of creature that moves along the ground, a male and a female, to keep them alive. For the clean animals and the birds, he was to take 7 pairs of each. Can you imagine the procession? Lions and lambs, bears and beetles, eagles and elephants, all making their way, 2 by 2, towards the enormous wooden vessel. It was a living, breathing parade of all creation, guided not by human hands, but by a divine call. Finally, the day arrived. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, 8 people in total, entered the ark, along with the vast menagerie of creatures. Then, the Bible says, the Lord himself shut the door behind them. This act symbolizes a finality, a point of no return. The period of grace was over, and the judgment was about to begin. For 7 days, they waited inside the ark in silent anticipation. Then, it started. It wasn't just a simple rainstorm. The scriptures describe it with dramatic intensity. All the springs of the great deep burst forth, and the floodgates of the heavens were opened. Water erupted from the ground and poured from the sky simultaneously. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, an unrelenting, world-engulfing deluge. The waters rose higher and higher, covering the hills and then the highest mountains. Everything on dry land that had the breath of life in its nostrils perished. The world that Noah had known was gone, submerged beneath a chaotic, swirling sea. The ark, once a bizarre spectacle on dry land, was now their salvation. It was lifted up by the waters, floating safely above the destruction. For 150 days, the water covered the earth. Imagine being inside that ark. The constant rocking, the sounds of the storm, the cries of the animals, the darkness broken only by whatever light filtered through the single window. It must have been a test of endurance, patience, and faith unlike any other. They were completely at the mercy of the waters, trusting in the vessel God had commanded them to build. Then, as suddenly as it began, the process of renewal started. God remembered Noah and all the creatures with him in the ark. He sent a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters began to recede. The springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens were closed. The ark, after months of drifting, finally came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Still, the world was a sea of water. Noah waited. After 40 days, he sent out a raven, which flew back and forth until the water had dried up. Then he sent out a dove. The first time, the dove returned, finding no place to perch. A week later, he sent the dove out again. This time, it returned in the evening with a freshly plucked olive leaf in its beak. This was the sign Noah had been waiting for, a symbol of new life and that the land was beginning to reappear. A week later, he sent the dove out a third time, and it did not return. The earth was dry. After more than a year inside the ark, God spoke to Noah again. "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful and increase in number on it." The great door was opened, and they stepped out into a clean, new world. The air was fresh, the ground was firm. Can you imagine that first step? The first deep breath of post-flood air. Noah's first act on dry land was one of gratitude. He built an altar to the Lord and, taking some of the clean animals and birds, he offered a sacrifice. The aroma of the offering pleased God, and he made a promise, not just to Noah, but to all of humanity and every living creature for all generations to come. God said, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, and never again will I destroy all living creatures, as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." And to seal this everlasting covenant, God set a sign in the sky. He said, "I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant." So now, every time we see a rainbow arching across the sky after a storm, it's not just a beautiful display of light. It's a reminder of this ancient story, a symbol of God's promise of renewal, hope, and faithfulness. The story of Noah's Ark is more than just a tale of a great flood. It's a profound narrative about judgment and mercy, about destruction and recreation, and about the unwavering faith of one man who dared to obey in a world that had lost its way. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest stories ever told. What part of Noah's story resonates with you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.